It's Madden NFL 24, and we'll see who rules the skies in today's battle. It's the Philadelphia Eagles and the New York Jets. All that and more coming up next.
It's a picturesque afternoon for football in the Northeast, and EA Sports comes to you from MetLife Stadium, just across the Hudson River from New York City. Coming up, we got a good matchup on tap here, as it'll be the Philadelphia Eagles taking on the New York Jets. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and CD, a lot of buzz here in the tri-state area about these Jets in 2023. Do you think that they are ready to challenge the Bills and the Dolphins for supremacy in the AFC East?
I certainly do, and for two big reasons. Number one, Aaron Rodgers is in town at quarterback, but number two, their defense, which kept them in every game last year and only got better through the draft this year. If they can pair those together, they can compete with anyone in the AFC East and the AFC in total.
And meanwhile, for the Eagles, the big question, how would they improve their squad in 2023 and make another run at a Super Bowl title? Well, they took a few hits in free agency, but by most accounts, really hit a home run during April's draft. You were there. What did you make of it?
It was almost a night beyond their wildest dreams. Perhaps the best player in the draft somehow fell to 9, where the Eagles traded up to get him. And a terrific pass rusher they got at 30. Wonderful draft, extra pieces for a Super Bowl contender.
Here's a punter, Thomas Morstead, to get this one started. And off we go from MetLife Stadium. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. So here come the Eagles, the defending NFC champs, led out by a man who was the runner-up to Patrick Mahomes at MVP balloting a season ago. Of course, that's Jalen Hurts.
And we already knew that Hurts was a good quarterback, but last year, he moved to elite status. Under his guidance, the Eagles returned to the Super Bowl and nearly won it. And he's also one of the league's most dangerous players, thrown for 38 touchdowns his last 2 seasons and run for another 23.
They go with a former Lion. It's DeAndre Swift. And he finds some space past the 25 to the 27. 5 yards on the game's first play. Second down.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Now 2nd and 5. On the option to give to Swift here. Dances by him. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 17 yards and a first down for Philly. That O-line, they cleared a big hole there on that run.
The athleticism of offensive lines continues to evolve, and we're seeing it here. Not only they're controlling things right at the line of scrimmage, but they're able to get upfield to get to what we call the second and the third levels. You know, get to linebacker spot, the secondary spot, getting all the way downfield with their blocking, which helps keep the running back clean.
They'll try to continue that trend here this afternoon. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And it'll be second down. I think defensively you're okay with that. You're in the first quarter. He's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that, you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series, they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that. He had to fight for every yard on that run, shook himself free of a tackle, and kept fighting, even with the rest of the defense closing in on him. That's the kind of effort you'll take every single time.
On 3rd and short, they'll try option left. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
And this is one of those plays that if you can use it to keep the chains moving, it's a good play. And not only that, it tends to tamp down the pass rushers because they have to recognize this play and stay at home. The quarterback uses it well. Read option, keeps it, and picks up a first down with some nice running.
A little bit of space there for the first down run, as that's going to get him about 5 yards.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball. But when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
Here's 2nd and 5 now from the 37. Hurts. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
Anytime he reads man coverage, I don't think it's going to be the only time he'll try and hit that route to the outside in this game. He'll test the perimeter, but that time, they were up to the challenge.
8th play of this opening drive coming up. This is 3rd down. Here's Hurts to throw. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And that's going to be another 1st down as the tackle made at the Jets' 21. That one good for 16 as the drive continues. So the completion there, and CD, as we know, trying to defend against an NFL quarterback, that's one thing. Trying to defend against a mobile NFL quarterback, that's quite another. What's the plan here defensively?
Well, the pass rush has to still try and get to him, and especially the guys on the edge, but they're going to go maybe a count slower, right? They want to make sure they don't get too far upfield where he steps up and takes off through a lane. The same is true for those interior guys as well. So you've got to change it up with him. Try and keep him hemmed into the pocket, and occasionally you throw a spy on it. A fast linebacker or one of your extra defensive backs who can dance with him a little bit if he takes off and runs.
2nd and 5. They will run straight ahead with Swift. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. DeAndre Swift, a 16-yard touchdown run. And the Eagles get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. Well, first quarter, maybe too early to talk about statement drives, Charles, but that sure seemed like a statement drive right there.
Well, if we're going to talk about statement drives, I think what they're saying is we're going to establish the run. They gave it to him early and often on this drive, and he wound up taking it into the end zone.
Elliott good with a PAT, and it's now a 7-0 game. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped at the 23-yard line. So now here comes the Jet offense as they get ready to take over. They'll be led out by Zach Wilson, former 2nd overall pick, now in his 3rd season out of BYU.
And what was really attractive about Zach Wilson coming out of college, coming out of BYU, his ability to create and make plays when many people thought they didn't exist. But what's been even better is watch him improve in the pocket, able to hit the back foot, make the right read, and the right throws.
Wilson leading the Jets up now for a 1st and 10 at their own 23. Now a late signing let go by Minnesota in June. It's Dalvin Cook. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive. 1st down.
That's pretty much meat and potatoes right there, wasn't it? Just go right at him and let your big horse charge up the middle. Not too fancy there, was it?
Nothing fancy at all, challenging that defense, and on that go-around, the offense won the challenge. Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon. And that's on big Mekhi Becton, 1st-round pick in 2020. The full start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Throwing is Wilson. Able to complete this one to Tyler Conklin. That'll give him 8 that time, and it's 2nd down. We'll see what kind of mindset they have here offensively after giving up the touchdown on the opening drive.
And based on our time with them, prior to this game, I feel like they've got a good mindset going in. In fact, the discussion that we had with the coaching staff was, we may give up some points in this game, so our offense has to be ready each and every time to either equal or try and get us ahead and try and keep us ahead. This is their chance to respond to that first touchdown given up.
Well, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. That burst good for 20 and a first down.
Well, partner, I have to say they called him in the right defense there. Nickel set, fifth defensive back on the field, and they love to run against that because now you typically get a bigger blocker on a smaller defender.
Yeah, because those DBs like you, they want the interception. They're not as worried about the running play, right?
Not at all. And I still remember being in school, and one of my offensive line teammates used to say, boy, I'd love to come downfield and hit you little people.
Good run there. And that one opened up for him well as he'll take this down to the 26-yard line. 49 yards rushing so far, and this is just their first possession. They've got a new set of downs here. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
And they didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
So the completion results there in 9 yards, and they'll have a 2nd and 1 forthcoming. From the gun, it's Wilson. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Wilson. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Second quarter now from MetLife Stadium. The Jets with the football here as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Back to the ground. Cook able to slither by. And able to get him inside the 5 here, just inside the 5 to about the 4. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Hey, when you get good yardage like that on first down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
On 2nd down, Wilson. Got a man, it's caught. Touchdown, Jets. Randall Cobb from 4 yards out. And the Jets are an extra point away now from tying this ball game. Well, that's just how they drew it up, CD. His first read was there, got it to him quickly, and into the end zone.
Absolutely excellent execution by all involved. And the coordinator, yeah, I give him credit. Found the perfect play call. Quarterback let it fly as soon as the target came free. And his guy made a nice catch. Just how you draw it up in practice and then execute it in the game.
Zerline good with a PAT. And we are tied at 7. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. And taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. Well, let's shine the spotlight on the former Georgia Bulldog, DeAndre Swift, who's set to begin this next drive. And you see the last drive, great chunky yardage, the touchdown on 5 carries. And offensively, everything just looked in sync, didn't it?
It did, and the reason that it was in sync is because it's a combination of play calling, game plan, offensive line marrying up with all of their blocks. But don't forget the receivers out on the perimeter. Any type of a long run, the receivers have had a hand in that because they've occupied people downfield. And, of course, give the big credit to the man with the football. Great vision, good movement, gets to the end zone.
And not a lot of success to be found there.
Oh, you got that right, partner, because if you're trying to make guys miss about 10 yards or so downfield, that's a pretty good play. But if you've got to do it in your own backfield, I consider that a problem. That doesn't work too well.
Hurts sets up to throw it. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. 3rd down.
Everything looked right on that play except the conclusion. He dropped it, an in route, going into a little bit of traffic. Maybe in the back of his mind, he was wondering where the hit was going to come from.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Throwing is Hurts. And that is incomplete.
Partner, we've got ourselves a ball game, and those guys on defense, they came to play. Slipped up on their first series, but they're definitely settling in now and letting it be known the points won't come so easy again.
On fourth down, punt coming from Braden Mann. And it's fielded at the 34. That'll be a 44-yard punt. The return goes for 8. And the Jets will take over. Back onto the field come the New York Jets for their second drive. The last time out, they had to march almost the full length of the field for their touchdown. So here, much easier, Charles, with this better starting field position.
I love your sarcasm, but I love even more your observation because, look, what they did last time out, now with a shorter field, they should have a lot of confidence that they're going to put more points up on the board.
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. This one complete to Mecole Hardman. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
On 2nd down, Cook. Oh, nice move. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
A yard all they need, but it's 3rd down. Now it's Wilson. Oh, he had a man running free, but he overshot him, and it's incomplete.
Looked like they were set up defensively in a zone coverage, but somehow they found a seam because that receiver all alone. By rights, that should have been a touchdown, but somehow this ball's overthrown.
Here's Thomas Morstead on now to punt it away on 4th down. Britton Covey deep for Philadelphia. And this is going to be ruled out, I think, just inside the 20. Yes, it will. Side judge calls it at the 19-yard line. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
They'll throw on 1st down with Hurts. He'll get this one complete. That's A.J. Brown. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. Right off the bat, it's a 1st down to start the drive, 12 yards.
Well, this is where reading defenses and practice time comes into play. You've got to know what you're running versus zone versus man and how to run the proper route. And they just executed that one pretty well.
On 1st and 10, it's Hurts. It's complete to Brown, right side. And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35. They'll give him 4 yards there, and it'll be 2nd down.
All that practice time came to fruition on that play. All those timing routes that they work on through training camp, OTAs, minicamp, and just regular season, they got it done on that one. An outcut, ball was delivered, and picked up the completion.
Hurts throw complete here to his receiver, Brown. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 3rd catch for him on this drive alone, and it'll give him a 1st down.
That's the 3rd time on this drive that these two have connected with each other. They've got a real rapport going, and right now it's paying off with big chunks of yardage as shown by that last play.
So in Jet territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Again, he'll drop to throw. That's caught by the big tight end, Dallas Goedert. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
They really love to get him into one-on-one opportunities, and this is one way. Work him out of the slot and create a mismatch. Who's going to cover him? Corner, safety, linebacker? He's got a way to beat all of those positions.
On second down, Swift. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. 56 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. First down, and they go with Swift again. Oh, now some space to operate. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 14 yards there and an Eagle first down. Second quarter, 2 minutes to go. Tie ball game. So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. He'll drop this one off to Swift. And he is going to lose yardage here. He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard.
That's a great job of tackling right there. If he could have made the first man miss, maybe he could have taken it into the end zone. Instead, they stopped him pretty well right in his tracks, and you often see that in the red zone. Offense has to be quick. In this case, the defense was quicker.
Second down, here's Hurts. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
They're putting together a drive here in the final minutes of the half, but the coverage has been tight all game long, and they certainly want to keep them off the scoreboard here.
9th play of the drive coming up, and certainly not an easy one on 3rd and long. They'll look to throw. And this is going to be incomplete. The Jets defense making things difficult there. 4th down.
Smart move to throw that one away. You're in field goal range, so you definitely don't want to be loose with the ball. And that's great work by this defense to force a 4th down.
So Hurts is off, and on comes Jake Elliott for the Eagle field goal. From the right hash, just a 34-yard attempt. The kick by Elliott is good. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. After the field goal, here's Elliott to kick it away. Taking it about the 1. And you see Dalvin Cook and the offense heading back out. Now, the ground game's been good, but they're losing here in the second quarter. Can they use that ground game maybe to work the air attack a little bit more?
I think so, because now you can throw play action off of being able to run the ball effectively. And oftentimes you might want to just swing your back out of the backfield, get the ball in his hands in open space, and just don't get totally away from running it, because some of these runs now, they may pop bigger as the game goes along.
Yeah, they've been good with the run so far. Now Wilson on 1st down. A short throw to Conklin, the tight end. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31. The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Snap will come from the 31 on 2nd and 7. Wilson finds Lazard quickly on the slant. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. Getting it to him in space pays off big time. That winds up going for 31.
Oftentimes now offenses aren't nearly as precise as days gone by. They just tell receivers, find an open patch of grass and let the quarterback find you. And that's exactly what they did on that play. First with the pass through the air, nice chunky yardage there, and then additional pickup with his legs after the catch.
Now the Jets going to use the second of their 3 timeouts. as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. Now a 2nd and 6. Now Wilson. This throw incomplete, nearly picked off. And with his pedigree, he doesn't drop many of those. But 3rd down coming up. Just his 2nd incompletion so far. He's 8 for 10. I think he'll take 80%.
There's no doubt that he will, but if you're the defensive play caller, you better circle what you just dialed up on your play sheet and come back to it because you just caused an incompletion. You need a few more of those.
Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. Looks like a 9-yard loss, and it also brings up 4th. So we've reached halftime here, and it's our visitors, the Eagles, leading this one. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome, everyone, to our brand-new studios here in downtown Orlando in the EA Sports Halftime Report. We watched a solid performance out of running back DeAndre Swift. He wound up finding the end zone on a touchdown run to help give his guys the advantage here at the break.
Okay, Coach, yeah, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this 3rd quarter in what's been a tight contest so far. A good, tight football game thus far. 10-7 the score as we resume action on EA Sports. And he will not bring it out. It's a touchback. Here's the Jets offense now getting set to start off this 3rd quarter. Well, out of the locker rooms here they come. Their first drive of the 3rd quarter. And, Charles, they're trailing in this ball game, but we got a tight one set up to be a very entertaining second half.
And as we know, partner, in the NFL, there's trailing and there's trailing, right? Sometimes you're discouraged by how much you're down, but in this case, this is a tight ball game, so there's a sense of optimism here. I think they went in at the half and looked at their play sheet and said, these are the plays we really like. What do you say we use them to start the second half and get us going?
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
Maybe a little frustration starting to creep in. The offensive line hasn't done a great job of protecting him in this game, and there he was, hit again as he threw it.
Yeah, another time on his backside, probably starting to get a little frustrated.
Got to keep his composure. Can't let the defense know that they're getting to him.
They go play action with Wilson. Open man is Uzama. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
On 3rd down, Wilson. And guy's man complete. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. That's a gain of nearly 40 yards on 3rd and medium to pick up the 1st.
That's the kind of play this offense desperately needed. They've got to be saying, our defense has kept us in the ball game. We're down, but we're certainly not out. And maybe that was the spark that they've been searching for.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Here's Wilson. Throw right side going to be caught by Hardman. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. Just his 2nd catch of the game so far. This one moves the chains.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
They'll throw on 1st down with Wilson. Locates Hardman for another catch.
And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3.
It's another first down as they look his way again, this time 19 yards.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, they're going to be set up with a 1st and goal.
Cook. Going to be hit and met at the line of scrimmage. They get him down at the 3.
No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
They'll go again from the 3 here on 2nd and goal. Again, it's Cook. Pushing for the end zone, but he's not going to get there. They stop him just shy of the goal line.
2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him.
And this will be caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Jets. Tyler Conklin, a 1-yard touchdown reception. And the Jets have taken the lead as they go right down the field and score on the opening drive of the 2nd half. No surprise there, 3rd and goal down here. That's where they're going to look for their tight end.
Yeah, you want that big guy running his routes because it doesn't matter who they cover him with. If it's another big guy, he might use his bulk against him. If it's a shorter defender, might go over the top. Either way, you tend to find a little bit of a mismatch in that area.
Zerline connects on the extra point, and the lead is now 14-10. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick.
Boston Scott on the return from his end zone. A lane opens here. He's past the 30. Boston Scott. It's a foot race. And they are not going to catch him. He's in. Touchdown, Eagles. Elliott now to add the extra point.
It's good, and they'll take a 17-14 lead. And what a job there by all 11 on the kick return. The blocking excellent, the return excellent. The result, 6 points.
So now the other return teams out there as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw. This fielded right at the goal line. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25.
And the Jets set to take the field.
A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now. But let's give credit where it's due because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
Yeah, because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football. Now he works his way forward to pick up 4 yards there, 2nd down.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown, so a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later, and let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on first down.
On second down, here's Wilson. He's got the hook up to Lazard. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. Give him 15 yards on that one, and the Jets move the chains.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
Throwing now, Wilson on first down. Across the formation, Hardman gets a completion. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well.
A couple of first downs right in succession, and this is an offense that could really use a good drive, and they're off to a fast start here.
So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 46. Meanwhile, Wilson's throw into the hands here of Hardman. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of, until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
Give to Cook out of the gun. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down.
Because his primary job is defending against the pass, you don't often see a cornerback making tackles in the backfield. But he's playing run all the way here.
And now on 3rd down, they'll need to get it to the 36 to pick up the first. Throwing is Wilson. He'll get this to Lazard. And he'll get this to the 40, but that's still going to be a few yards short of the first down. It'll go as a gain of 4, and that'll bring up 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Yeah, he was looking for the checkup bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. And they had a long drive last time, but they had to settle for a field goal, and I'm sure that's how it felt to them, settling. They probably should have gotten in the end zone.
Yeah, not out-and-out joy, right? Because that's what you get when you put the ball in the end zone. But there are benefits to that type of a long drive. Your defense gets a chance to take a break, adjust a little bit, maybe get themselves ready to get back out on the field and play a little bit better. So they'll take the benefit even though they wanted the 6 points.
And maybe wore down the other defense. We'll see. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. 85 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon. We often give credit to the O-line there. 2 tight end formation. Those tight ends block pretty well also.
Yeah, and that's one of the most dynamic positions in football now. The tight ends who can block at the line of scrimmage at the point of attack, and they can also get downfield and catch the football.
On 1st and 10, it's Swift. And he'll be taken down after a decent gain, and that will bring us to the end of this 3rd quarter of play. So both teams trade touchdowns, and the 3rd as we're through 3 quarters of play. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here at MetLife Stadium. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these 2 teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. Just need a yard here. 2nd and 1. Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively. And now it brings up 3rd down.
My first thought is surprise because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
Throwing is Hurts. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he goes down, but not before getting this is inside the 25. Well, they only needed a small gain on third down. They end up getting over 30 yards.
Despite writing it down on my notes, I never give enough credit to the offensive line, and we have to here. The protection, that's what made this play a success. Quarterback had to wait for his crossing route to develop, and that takes a little bit of extra time. Excellent job by the big fellas up front.
They'll throw on first down with Hurts. And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete.
Well, a momentary speed bump there with that throw, partner. The defense had other ideas, and they're trying to mount a small stand before this drive reaches the end zone.
2nd and 10. Hurts. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and he passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up 4th down. Boy, you know, some plays you can just sort of tell they're not going to work from the start, and that was one of them right there.
Yeah, I mean, he had every option taken away, and so all that was left for him to do was to try and keep it himself, but even he knew that he had nowhere to go.
The kick by Elliott is good. And they stretch the lead to 6. It's 20-14 now. So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. After the field goal, here's Elliott to kick it away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. New York ready to go again offensively. Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time, hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone. Wilson leading the Jets up now for a 1st and 10 at their own 18. Throwing to start the drive. Wilson.
Well, if you're going to give out a little applause on that play, it has to go to the defense. More good work by them. They've taken away the passing lanes all game long, and you can see the frustration that it's causing because he just about threw that one into the first row.
Now a 2nd and 10. A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And he'll find some space up to about the 25. 70 yards rushing for him now to this point.
That's the kind of run that gets everyone excited on offense. And, you know, oftentimes the guys who carry the ball are the ones in the huddle doing the chirping. Right now, I think it's the offensive line telling them, run it again. We are right there about to break a big one.
They'll run it. Here's Cook. And he will be very close to a 1st down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Here's Thomas Morstead now as he's on to punt for New York. Fair catch signaled for and taken just shy of the 30-yard line. A 40-yard punt, no return, and the Eagles will have it taking over 1st and 10. They'll start on the ground with Swift. And he maneuvers up the middle for 3. And it's second down.
Well, partner, Marvin, our #1 stats guy, just handed me a little card that says he has 97 yards on the ground today. You think he's going to get the ball again?
I think so. 3 away from that century mark. Got to have it.
Yeah, and I think what they're going to call is one of his favorite runs, whatever he feels comfortable with, and what the offensive line has executed well today to try and get him over 100.
But the Jets pressure too much as down he goes. Quentin Williams busting through to get him for a loss of 6.
To the surprise of no one who's watching Flash's potential the last couple of years, Quentin Williams broke out in 2022 with 12 sacks and first-team All-Pro honors. Expect more of the same going forward.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And it is incomplete. Critical play in this football game because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
On is the punter man as he boots this one away. Now a hit and a loose football. And it's picked up by the Eagles. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line.
I remember sitting in special teams meetings, and at some point during the meeting, the coach would always say, you better treat this one just like you're playing offense or defense. It's a big part of the game, and we just saw evidence of why right there with that fumble.
Yeah, fumble on the punt, and after it was turning out to be a pretty decent return.
Yeah, a really nice return. They were going to be set up okay, and the offense would feel good running onto the field. And now the defense has to try it out there and try and slow them down.
And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. He will find Smith in the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. A great effort there. 26 yards. And the Eagles get an important score there to extend their lead here in this 4th quarter. Well, that's certainly going to bump up the old win probability index because now it's a 2-score game here in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, you're taking me into that deep water now. Win probability index. This game's definitely not over. We're not looking at a 0.5% or something. It's just 2 scores. But the way that this team has played, to me, what I've seen, they absolutely deserve to win this game. They've been the better team by far throughout. You know, sometimes the guy on the defensive side of the ball, he just has a good feeling or a good read, and he unleashed his defense on that one. Boy, they stopped them in a big way.
Yeah, I hate to be cliche, but sometimes we overanalyze. They just have more want. Looked like they had more want right there.
More want and more people to the ball.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20. So here's Wilson and the Jets down by 12. 2:19 to play. They have all 3 timeouts and the 2-minute warning, but they need 2 scores. On first down, Wilson. On the out route, he finds Hardman. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. At this stage, this drive's got to be touchdown or bust because you need 2 of them.
And if I'm the offensive play caller, I'm not just looking at my dagger plays downfield. I'm looking at some of my specials, something that can fool them and give you a big play now.
With a sense of urgency.
No doubt.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. All 3 timeouts remain, but they've got to score quick. It's 1st and 10. Wilson's throw here pulled in by Lazard. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? Here's 1st and 10. To throw is Wilson. Swinging this out wide here for Cook. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Pass complete. He's got Lazard on the out route.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
Here's 1st down. From the shotgun, Wilson. He'll dump this off to Cook. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Here's a 2nd and 7. Now Wilson. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
That was well played, but that was also an example of a corner who understands his coverage, realized he had support behind him, and could be a little more aggressive in the shorter zone, and did exactly that, knocking that pass away.
Here's play number 7 on the drive. This is 3rd and 7. Here's Wilson to throw. That is caught, and they'll get this down to the 10. The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 27 seconds showing on the clock. Now 1st and goal. Wilson will throw again. Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it, and it's 2nd down.
You get into these 2-minute drill situations, and you often got tired legs on the offensive line. But these defenders, they've been rotating in and out, and they're a little bit fresher and quicker. And the pressure there forced the incompletion.
On 2nd down, Wilson. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away.
And now the focus is really clear. They need to get that 1st down and either get out of bounds or maybe use one of those timeouts.
3rd and goal, and keep in mind, very possibly 4-down territory. Wilson. And this is caught, so it's a late touchdown, but maybe too late. Still a little time left on the clock, however. Coming from where they were, they knew this was going to be tough, but they got the touchdown. Now they need the miracle, the onside kick and a little extra.
Yeah, and you have to get the onside kick and not have the ball bounce around a lot and eat up time. You want to be able to grab it, possess it, and get your offense out there for what you just termed a miracle last chance.
Zerline good with a PAT. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. So with 14 seconds on the clock, they've got to go with the onside kick. And the Eagles are going to recover. And that might be enough to put a bow on this one. Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we've brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Let's play. Let's play now, baby. Let's play.
The Eagles in the victory formation as they take a knee. The Jets going to go ahead and use their final timeout as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in the football game. Down to a knee goes Hurts, and that is going to be that. What a finish in this one, Charles. You know, this group, they come in, they have to fight a hostile atmosphere every snap. They get the late score, they get the victory, and that flight home, it's going to be a little sweeter after this one.
And Brandon, just like you, I was fired up for that last sequence. How about that? Wouldn't you have loved to have been in the huddle when they were mounting that game-winning drive? Big-time moment. No one shied away from it. They tuned out the crowd, kept their heads, and executed the way they needed to earn that win.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. With that, we sign off from MetLife Stadium.